Well, hi there. About a month ago, I had a contest where I invited my viewers to pwn me, and the winner of the contest got to choose a subject for me to make a video about. And the contest winner, which I will link in the description box, was my friend Sugaranlin. And he asked me to do a video on the future of music. Mate, I am sorry it took me so long to get to it, but with the collaboration I was doing last week with Nathan Forrest, I've been a bit busy recently. Anyway, this will probably be the first of several videos from me today, so your patience is much preferred and appreciated. Anyway, the future of music is a bit of a gray area for me personally. I feel out of the loop because once upon a time when I was on the radio, I was pretty well read on the music industry from the inside. I had a pretty good clue about where things were going in the 80s and early 90s, but unfortunately, since I had kids pretty much, I haven't paid that much attention to the ins and outs of the music industry. And my kids are grown up now, so that's been quite a long time. The advent of the internet and computers in general has changed the way that music can be stored and the way people share music as well. And it's completely turned the music industry upside down on top of its head. And frankly, I think the music industry hasn't recovered from the dawn of the internet. And I think that the music industry is still going to be taking a good 5 or 6 more years to sort of find its feet before we really know where we're at with how consumers want to consume the music and how it is made available to them. From a standpoint of bands producing music, I do kind of worry. I've said this in videos before. I do kind of worry that with the lack of hard copy, CDs basically being made to the same sort of degree that they used to be, bands nowadays can make sort of 4 or 5 albums and stick them on a social networking site like MySpace or whatever, and try to promote them through a social networking site. They don't have to make a whole album anymore. Sometimes they just do 2 or 3 songs and stick those out there for consumption. So I kind of worry about that because I liked the idea that you would get sort of 10 or 12 songs from a band at a time on an album. And I've mentioned this in videos before, but I personally mourn the loss of concept albums and theme albums a lot. I'm not saying they've disappeared completely, and I don't think they are ever going to disappear completely. But I do think that that kind of thing is waning. And that's unfortunate to me, personally. If you've ever been to my blog TVs, you'll know that I prefer to consume my music in hard copy. I actually never downloaded a song off the internet, ever, in 14 years of being on the internet. And it's not really any sort of, moralistic, high road I'm trying to take. It's just that I prefer to buy my music in a shop. I don't want retail to die. And I do think the way the internet has been working and music sharing has been going on over the internet has more or less killed retail in terms of music. And to me, that's personally a very sad thing. However, I wouldn't be surprised if in 5 or 6 years there's a greater demand again for hard copies of music and for CDs to be produced on a more wide scale than seems to be the case at the moment. So where it's actually going, Sugaranlin, I don't actually know. I really can't give you an authoritative video with any really strong or good guesses. I do think that the internet provides a great opportunity, though, for bands to get their music out there and to get it heard in ways which, record companies would have frustrated before. On the other hand, frankly, record companies provided a means of distribution and promotion of music which is sadly lacking on the internet. And so I worry that, in 10 years' time, we won't be able to look back on the year that's just gone by and say, oh, well, the big bands for this year were XYZ, because nobody's putting out albums anymore. It's all just songs here and there. And I do think that that's a trend which will continue before it abates and goes back the other way. I think in music industry in general, there's a tendency to swing one way and then go back the other way. I mean, they got rid of vinyl for some time, and then it made quite a resurgence about 10 years later when there was enough of a demand for it. And I think the same thing's going to happen with CDs. But other than that, I really don't have much else to say about it. I'm sorry if the video is a disappointment to you, mate. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got. I've got more to say about other topics, though, later today, so please be patient with me. And until next time, thanks for watching. May all your ups and downs be ups.